So, what's the real difference between people who actually hit their goals and those who don't? We often think it takes some huge, life altering action. But what if the secret is way, way smaller? In this explainer, we're going to break down the idea that true, lasting change doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It's all about the small things you do over and over again, day in and day out. I mean, think about it for a second. That big New Year's resolution to go to the gym 5 times a week, right? You start out super strong, but then February hits, the motivation fades, and poof, the habit is gone. It's such a classic story. So, what's the deal? Why do our biggest goals so often just collapse under their own weight? And here it is. This is the core idea. The secret isn't some sudden burst of crazy effort. It's the quiet, steady power of small, repeatable actions that build momentum over time. So this isn't about finding more motivation. It's about building a smarter system for yourself.
Okay, so let's get into it. Our very first habit is all about turning those vague wishes into actual concrete plans. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful psychological trick called an implementation intention, and it's designed to make you way more likely to actually follow through.
The formula here is so simple, but it's brilliant. Instead of a fuzzy goal like, I'll read more, you create a super specific trigger. As soon as I get into bed, I will read for 10 minutes. See what you're doing? You're linking that new habit to something you already do automatically. This little rephrase takes all the guesswork and decision-making out of the moment. And this isn't just some nice-sounding idea. It is backed by solid research. Studies show that using this one simple trick makes you up to 3 times more likely to stick with your goals. I mean, think about that for a second. A tiny 20-second shift in how you word your intention can literally triple your chances of success. That's huge. All right, so you've got a plan. Our second habit is all about making it easier to actually do it by basically becoming an architect of your own environment. It's called a friction audit, and the goal is dead simple. Make the good habits easier to do and the bad habits harder. That way, you're not constantly fighting a battle with your own willpower. So, friction is just any little obstacle that gets in the way of you and a good decision. This isn't about needing to be more disciplined. It's just about being smarter. You're designing a path of least resistance that actually leads to where you want to go. So, you lower the friction for good habits and you add friction for the bad ones. And the solutions here can be ridiculously simple. You want to take your vitamins? Don't hide them in a drawer. Put them right next to the coffee maker you use every single morning. Planning a workout? Lay out your clothes the night before. Every one of these tiny adjustments removes the decision point, and that makes the right choice the easiest choice. So, the real insight here is to stop blaming yourself for a lack of willpower and start looking at your environment. When your setup is actually designed for success, you don't need to be a superhero of discipline. You're just making the right thing to do, the default thing to do. Okay, so we've shaped our plans and our environment. Habit number 3 is all about what's going on inside our own heads. It's a super simple mindset shift to help you reframe stressful moments, giving you back control over your emotional response instead of just letting things happen to you. And this is the magic question. When something stressful happens, our automatic reaction is almost always frustration or annoyance. But by just pausing for a second to ask this question, you interrupt that pattern. You create just enough space to consciously choose how you want to respond. Let's see how this works in real life. Someone cancels plans on you. The default reaction is, ugh, how annoying. The reframe? Oh, cool, now I have an unexpected gift of free time. Or you get cut off in traffic. Instead of immediate road rage, you can choose empathy. Wow, that person must be having a really, really bad day. This isn't about being naive. It's about protecting your own mental energy. All right, so just like that reframe stops a bad moment from wrecking your whole day, our fourth habit stops one missed step from derailing your entire goal. This is all about escaping that all or nothing trap by defining your minimum win. This whole habit is built on one simple truth. Perfection is the enemy of progress. That all or nothing mindset says, well, if I can't do my full hour workout, I'll just skip it. The minimum win says, nope, I will at least do something to keep moving forward. It's all about sustainability, not intensity. So maybe your ideal goal is that full workout, but your minimum win is just 10 minutes of exercise. Or you want to read a whole chapter, but your minimum win is just one single page. This tiny benchmark is what keeps the habit alive on those really tough days, and it stops one little slip up from breaking the chain completely.
Okay, our fifth habit is a super simple planning ritual. Seriously, it takes maybe 2 minutes a week, but it can massively reduce your stress and sharpen your focus. It's called the 7-day rule.
The psychology behind this is actually fascinating. So, research shows that just the act of writing down your goals makes you 42% more likely to achieve them. But look at this. When you pre-commit to a specific plan for those goals, that likelihood skyrockets to 72%. That's the power of making a few simple decisions ahead of time.
And the process, honestly, could not be simpler. Every Sunday, just take 2 minutes. Figure out 1 to 3 key things that, if you get them done, will make the week a success. Then, physically write them down. And that's it. You've just wiped out that daily stress of what should I be working on, because you've already decided.
Okay, our final habit is the one that really ties everything else together. This is the long game. It's the one that often feels like you're not making any progress at all, right up until the moment it changes everything. This is the incredible power of stacking skills day after day.
You know, we always see the overnight success, but we completely miss the hidden truth, the years of learning and failing and just showing up that came before it. This is what happens when you have a daily habit, whether it's reading or practicing or building, that creates this deep foundation of skill. For a long, long time, it feels like nothing's happening. And then, one day, all those different skills just connect and things start to click. This quote just explains so perfectly why that true long-term commitment is so rare and why it's so powerful. Most people just dabble. They try something, they don't see results right away, and they quit. The real breakthroughs only come to the people who fully commit and just push through that long, difficult period of invisible progress. And that really brings us full circle to the single idea that connects all 6 of these habits. Whether you're planning your intentions, reducing friction, or stacking your skills, the real engine of change isn't intensity, it's consistency. It is the simple, quiet act of showing up, even in a small way, day after day after day. So I'll leave you with this question. You don't need to tackle all 6 of these at once. That's not the point. Just pick one. What is the single smallest change you can commit to starting today that will start to build and compound for your future self? Because that's where real, lasting change always begins.